Hello everybody, welcome back to NIOS Made Easy. We are continuing with mail merge. In the last couple of videos, we did mail merge where we generated letters and we had a data source which was stored in a MS Word document. We generated letters and we had the data source in an MS Word document. For today's example, we have our data source, that is the name and the address details, in an Excel sheet. In another example that we already did, we also created a new address list by starting to type a new list, which also went well. So today we are going to generate letters, and as a data source we have an existing list, and that existing list here is stored in an Excel sheet. For today's example, we are going to do the step-by-step mail merge wizard. You can omit this step here. You can as well use these address block details, etc. and as well you can do the merge. Today we are doing the step-by-step mail merge wizard. So this is the letter that I am starting with. So let me choose letters there. To choose the starting document, this is the starting document and this also happens to be my main document. So the option that is use the current document is chosen. We always start with the main document where we have a letter. It is also okay to start with a blank document and actually start typing the letter, which is also going to work. So the next step here is to select the recipient list. So let us browse. We have an existing list, so that's why this option is chosen there. Let us browse and let us go to that folder where we have our Excel sheet stored. Yeah, so now the Excel sheet is associated with our main document, that is the data source is associated with the main document. As you can see, this Excel sheet here has 3 sheets. So the same 3 sheets are getting displayed here and it is asking us to point out to the correct sheet. So address list is the sheet which is selected. We should also make sure that the first row, this checkbox is selected. That is the first row of the data contains column headers. So the first row in this document has the column headers. That's correct. And if you just count the number of rows, this sheet has 49 rows, so that is the first row is the header. So it has totally, this example data source has 48 records. So now let us say OK and go ahead. So all the 48 records that was in that Excel sheet is now seen here. So this window here offers a lot of functionalities, like you can sort, you can filter, you can find duplicates, etc. So you can actually filter out data here. You can use the filter and you can actually reduce the number of data records that you might want to use for your mail merge. There is another option here as well, that is this checkbox. You can uncheck those records that you do not want to use to do your mail merge. We can uncheck records that we do not need. The other option here is you can select on this address list, and when you click on edit, you can actually edit this list as well, like as in add in new records or delete records. That editing also can be done at this stage. Let's say OK for now. The next step here is to write the letter. So when we say write the letter, we mean that we are actually merging the fields from the data source to this main document. These are the fields that we are going to merge, that is the title, first name, last name, address line, city and PIN. In our earlier example, we had merged this using this option here, that is more items, where by double clicking on each of these data fields, they get inserted into your letter. This can also be done using this drop down here, that is insert the merge field. Both of these do the same thing. Either of these options can be used. As we can see, these are the merge fields, as in when you just click on the fields, it completely gets selected, but these were the fields that we had typed. This was only for our reference, so we can go ahead and delete this. This was just for our reference to see how the address would look like. We also have to merge this field, that is the first name field again, which we can do now. In this example, let us do it differently. Instead of adding all the fields one by one, we can use some of the options given here. So MS Word, that is the mail merge feature, gives us this address block here. Address block is an already made address address organizer for us, which we will use now. Yeah, the address looks okay. So this is the address block. Apart from the address blocks, you can also use some of these features to write in your line. These help you to create your greeting line. It is a pre-made feature available along with the mail merge feature. Let's go to the next step, that is to preview the letters. This is how our letter looks like. There are 48 records. So if you click the last button here, it says 48. So all the 48 letters have got generated now. We can go ahead and complete the mail merge by actually clicking on this button, complete the merge. So when you see this screen, this is the last stage of mail merge. Click on the edit individual letters. So this has three options here. All is chosen by default. When we say all, it means that all the 48 records in the Excel sheet will be converted into letters. Current record means only this current letter is going to be generated. Whereas this last option is the from and to option, where I can specify the number of data rows in the Excel sheet which we want to generate letters with. So let us choose all for this example and say OK. So as we can see, there are 50 letters that would be generated. 48 letters that would be generated. So we can see the number of page numbers. There are 48 letters here, and this can be sent ahead for printing. Now that we have completed our mail merge, let us go back a couple of steps and try to understand the address block and the greeting line better. So the address block and the greeting line are predefined address and greeting templates that has been provided by mail merge. So for this letter, instead of inserting fields one by one, let's go ahead with the address block. If we can see here, it is just listing out the title, the first name, last name, and the city. The address lines and the pin code is missing. If you cross-check this with our data source here, you can see that there is an address line 1, there is an address line 2 and a pin, but they are not shown up here in this address block. So to fix this problem, we can click on this match fields. So this is the place where these are on the left side we have these fields that are used by the address block of mail merge, and these drop down fields here are those fields or those column headers that are coming in from Excel. So it has already mapped 3 fields, whereas if we can see here, the address line 1 and the address line 2 are not mapped. So we'll have to go and map them manually. So once this is done, we can see all the details in the address block. So when we say OK, we can see the complete address list. The same thing with the greeting line as well. There are certain fields that are already used by the greeting line here. So we can go ahead and choose the format that we want. Again, if there is a name or a title that is not coming up here, in this case, all the fields that are required by this greeting line is matched. So we don't have to do anything. That is the title, last name and first name. But just in case there is a mismatch, we'll have to come and manually correct this problem, and then we'll get our greeting line properly. Now that we have completed mail merge using an Excel as our data source, let us try another combination of mail merge. For this, we are again going to start with the mailings tab and start our step-by-step mail merge wizard. In the past example, we have generated documents that is for letters. So we have chosen letters. the next step is the starting document. So we had started with an already available letter here, which was already written and started mail merge there. And in another example, we started with a blank document and we started writing the letter at this stage. For this example, let us use this middle option here, that is to start from a template. A template is a pre-formatted letter that is available in mail merge. So we can go ahead and choose one of these pre-formatted letters, which will save us the time of writing a letter and formatting a letter. With making subtle changes to this letter, you can actually go ahead and do your mail merge. So let us start with a template. So for which we'll have to select a template here. You have options of letters, documents, reports, resumes, etc. Let us today for this example choose a letter. I'm just choosing the first letter that is available there. So as you can see, there are some fields here that are all written in square brackets. So you can actually click on each of these. So these are the fields which require a merge at a later point in time. So this template format here has highlighted all such fields for us, which we can use for our merge. So let us now start. We have a senders. Before that, let us go ahead and associate our data source with our main document. The data source is the same data source that we used, the same Excel sheet that we used earlier. We are using the same thing. It is just that I've made a small change, that is I've added some company names here just for this example. That's this. So let us go ahead and merge. So the sender's company name, you can just click on this and you can insert the field directly. And for the address, for this case, let us just insert the address block. To actually do the a mail merge using a template, well in advance you can choose a template that you want to create, and appropriately you can go ahead and create a data source where you need all the fields for this letter and then continue, which will help you do this better. Recipient's name, let us choose the first name. In this case, I do not want a recipient address, so I'll just go ahead and delete. Now for the salutation, we can go ahead and insert the greeting line that is already available. So pretty much the letter is done. You can delete all fields that you do not want to have as a part of your letter. So finally, there is a closing line. We do not have any closing field in our Excel sheet, so you can just key in as per your convenience. So basically, whatever you're keying in here will be the same for all the letters. So it is not personalized, which is fine. So with this, we have finished formatting our letter, or maybe even just creating the letter. Let's go to the next step and preview the letters. So this is how our letter looks like. If you want to make any changes to your letter at this stage, just go back to the previous stage and see if you want to give any spacing or any other formatting that you might want to do. So this letter looks okay. So you can go ahead and print the letters now. Finally, edit individual documents. I have the company names only for 5 records, so I'll just choose 5 records from my Excel sheet and I'll say OK. So with this, 5 letters have got generated, starting with the template. So with this, we have pretty much covered various combinations of mail merge, that is using a blank document, using an already written letter, using a template, using the data source stored in a Word document, using the data source stored in an Excel document. Then we have also gone ahead and created a Microsoft address list while we did mail merge. So with this, pretty much all combinations are combined, and we have done it. So thank you for watching all these videos.